Hello, welcome to the 2023 The BJ Show Awards Show, and I am going to introduce the person who's going to be sharing this show. Aidan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, very great to be on this recent night, Ben.
No worries, so let's get straight into it. So, this is the review of the top 10 goal of the year. Aidan and I will be sharing each. We have season reviews of the top 8 as well as the bottom 10 I mentioned before. Mark of the year is like the goal of the year. The 2023 retired, so it's quite a big list which we'll go through, as well the Australian, myself and Aidan, the coach, the winner of the result of the BJ Show competition, as well the biggest moment, the best player of the BJ Show has chosen who thinks. So let's get the first part, and this is the season review top 10. So Aidan, I'll let you do the first team we have is West Coast.
Alright, so starting from last with West Coast, so it was a really miserable year for West Coast. You know, their really only saving grace was their senior player that stood up. Tim Kelly did a hell of a job keeping that team, you know, competent, looking competent in a lot of games, and the rest of their senior players when they were available as well. But there's not a lot to really be positive about for West Coast this year, apart from maybe Tim Kelly. Going into next year, they've got the number 1 pick, but at the same time, their future's not great because their core are still players that are 30 plus.
Yeah, what I mentioned, Tim Kelly is such a star. He's a former Geelong Clap players coming to the West Coast. Look, they've got, you know, Alan Simpson's got so much to work, and Ken West Coast gone from 18th maybe to 16th. Build this team in successful, and the fans are there. So that is my thoughts. Let's get to the next team, Aidan. The next team is North Melbourne Footy Club.
So in 17th was North Melbourne. Now North Melbourne had an absolutely horrible start to the year with obviously Alistair Clarkson coming in as their coach, and then as the Hawthorn Pro, where he had to sit out for the whole pre-season. So he didn't even get a full pre-season with his new team. Coached the first 6 or 7 games I think, and then had to sit out, you know, quite a majority of the season on stress leave, and then came back for the last month. So they had a very, you know, up and down year in terms of just stability within the team. You think it's all going well, and then it's not for North Melbourne. But on the field, they showed flashes of brilliance. There were times where I thought, you know, this team, they've got something here, but then there's also times where I thought, North Melbourne are absolutely a disgrace, and if it wasn't for West Coast, this team would probably only win 1 or 2 games for the whole year. But in saying that, they've got a good young core of players. They've got a lot of young guys coming through. Harry Sheasel, George Wardlow, Luke Davies-Uniacke, just to name a few. And they should really be looking to get into that next stage where Hawthorn are now in terms of their rebuild. Yeah,
what you said about Alec Clarkson, you know, he's come through from Hawthorn, had a break. Now North Melbourne wanted him for him continue coaching North Melbourne. I think they need that. I think North Melbourne have built this, and I think, from my perspective, North Melbourne's got a good future, but can they play September football in the next few years? And I think they have a hit. So the next team is Gold Coast Suns Footy Club. Due with Gold Coast, I gotta say, where is the team? What is the harm with my fault with the manager's point of view? You got Stuart Dew was coaching for so many years, up to 5-6 years, and it happens. They're really good. They're really versing good teams that beat Melbourne, Adelaide. You know, we always say, do they have a team together? I believe they need to find something, because I think there's something good. But they need something that they don't have the magic, but in the few years, do they have?
Yeah, so I think with Gold Coast, very mixed bag this year. You know, there were games where they showed heaps of promise, heaps of potential. But then there's also games where they just looked way out of the contest from, you know, the very first minutes of the game. I know when both Gold Coast and GWS come into the league, a lot of people were saying that Gold Coast were going to run away and be just dominant, like come into the league and dominate, you know, after their first couple of years in. But, you know, they've got a lack of direction, and it's not just sacking Stuart Dew and throwing Damien Hardwick in there. It's looking at the board members, looking at the whole sort of front office staff, looking at the whole back room and saying, you know, how do we get this team to be a premiership team? Because before you even get to being a premiership team, you need to be a top 8 team. And they're just thinking, we need to be a premiership team. No, you need to be a top 8 team before you become a premiership team.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Now, the next team is Fremantle Dockers Football Club. We're just going to Fremantle. Now, playing finals to not playing finals, it's huge. And I think in regards, this was a good lesson this year for Fremantle in regards of recruiting good players. I thought, it's Fremantle up there this year. I believe they were. Finishing 5th to 14th is 9, about 9. Exactly that. And I didn't see Fremantle had that belief in season 2023. I think they've got a good team together. Having Luke Jackson come home to Fremantle, apprenticeship with Melbourne, but it's not just about Luke Jackson, it's about Fremantle come together. Have they got the Fremantle 2024 team? Have they got the correct players? Who knows? But let's just see what Fremantle can bring to Magic in season 2024.
I don't want to have to do this, but Ben, I know you're going to make me do this. Hey, what can I say about my Fremantle Dockers? I think the word is disappointing. You know, may come off finals last year, like you said, Ben, to this. Yep. This is totally unexpected, but this is what happens when you lowball players like Griffin Lowe, like Rory Lobb. Guys who, may not be, the guys you throw up on the posters or the guys that the kids get the numbers on the back of the jerseys or whatever. But those are guys you build the football club around. And then you go and sell the farm to get Luke Jackson, thinking that's going to solve everything. That solved nothing. We went backwards. And now Melbourne has pick 5. This year, Melbourne has pick 5 because of that trade for Luke Jackson. And, there were some good games. So, we had a double over Geelong, beat them in Perth, beat them in Geelong. We also beat Melbourne at the MCG. But there were also some pretty inexcusable games, so especially in the first half of the year, losing to St Kilda, losing to North Melbourne, barely scraping by West Coast. Just totally unacceptable from, Fremantle, a team who are, their outset this year was, yes, we're a team who are going to be in the finals for a long time. And, this just shows one thing that, I've always said. Fremantle will always be a team that people look at as just coming up that bit short. Because, even if you look at this year's trade deadline, previous trade deadlines, players going west normally choose West Coast. Even though West Coast are way out of it and Fremantle are looking kind of alright, players are going to West Coast. What does that say for, the management of Fremantle?
Absolutely, and there's some good moments. So, guys, we are going to head into a break. But when we come back, we'll continue with the top bottom 10. Who is in 13th? We'll find out after this. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the award show 2023. More teams reviews to come. Who is in now in 13th spot with other awards to come too. Hey guys, welcome back to the award show 2023. Let's now head back to the 2023 award show. We now head to the 13th spot. Who's that? Let's head there now.
Welcome back to the BJ Show 2023 awards show. So we just did the bottom 5 season reviews, and now, Ben, you're going to talk about...
The next team is Richmond Tigers Football Club. Richmond, how can I say what I called Richmond is a disappointing Richmond coaching with one, Yes, hard work put aside halfway through the season. They had so many games and players retiring. Congratulations, we'll see very soon in the show. But I just think, with Richmond point of view, I think there's some games that should won, but fans just not coming this year, especially in season 2023. But I think Richmond is still a hard team to play when you play the MCG, no matter where they are on the ladder. But this is a rebuilding Richmond, and they will find in 2-3 years, even maybe 4, I will see a Richmond back in final action. Maybe not a Darcy Martin, no Trent Crotcher, no Rebo, no Lynch, but maybe Lynch. He will have a lot of experience now with Richmond, winning apprenticeships, like Tom Lynch from when they're known as the second Tom Lynch is now the one Tom Lynch. He's won apprenticeships and good on him. But he's going to go through a lot in the next few years. So yeah.
Yeah, so for me, for Richmond, I think, just as Ben said, it's the end of an era, that whole Hardwick team, Martin, Koch and Rewalt, and then obviously guys, who retired in previous seasons as well, guys like Hooley, Rance, they've all gone now, so it's time for transition and under Adam Easy, and you don't know, what's going to happen. But when I look at the young Tigers that are coming through, I just don't see that X factor and that ability to win a game like the previous generation of Tigers had. So they're going to be around, but they're not going to be the guys that you're going to put front of house to win you the game. So with that said, I just think with Richmond it could get a bit worse, probably a lot worse before it gets better. And I'm not talking about just ladder position. I'm talking about just trying to keep players around, especially that young group who might seek opportunities elsewhere.
Yes, absolutely. So the next team
is
Geelong Cats Football Club. What can I say about Geelong? They've got, from this year, maybe a rebuilding Geelong. A pre-rebuilding. I don't see them playing finals next year again. You got Dangerfield, you got Tom Hawkins, you got so many players in the late 20s, 28, 29 to their 30s. And Geelong is one of the oldest lists in the AFL season 2023. Come from the apprenticeship against the Swans, Sydney will chat soon, they make the finals. So, like I said, we'll talk about Sydney very soon, but focus on Geelong's backs. That I didn't see them. They're still hard to play in Geelong, and there's certain teams did beat them. And one team mentioned was Fremantle, and good on Fremantle. But there's another team we'll share very soon is up the ladder, who also beat Geelong. So I think Geelong, on my point, anyone can beat Geelong in Geelong when you know the right style of play, and it's very hard. And when you have injuries, Chris Scott, ending his career at Geelong, he's been there since 2009. He's been very lucky. He's won first year apprenticeship coach. He's been there since day one. And is it time to end Chris Scott coaching at Geelong? But we'll find out next year.
Yeah, so Geelong are obviously going to be a strong side year in, year out. This obsession with winning a premiership got to them over these last 3 or 4 years, and they sold out to win a premiership. They brought in all these senior players, and when I say senior players, I'm talking about guys over 30 and even over 32. And you pay a price for that, and they're going to pay the price for that, and they're already paying the price for that. Because you've got guys who retired last year, like Selwood, guys who retired this year, like Smith, and there's probably going to be a few more big names to come off that list in the coming year. So you're looking at Dangerfield coming off, looking at Hawkins coming off, looking at Cameron coming off. So, and that's not even talk about their defences like Tui, Blitzarves, those guys coming off as well. So I just think for Geelong, they've got to pay the price, but they've got good young guys coming through. Like we've already seen how good Max Holmes can be, but he needs the opportunity. And the only way these young guys are getting the opportunity at Geelong is from these old guys retiring. And if they stick around, these young guys aren't coming into the side.
Absolutely. So I'm going to let you go over, Aiden, and share with... Next team is Essendon Bombers Footy Club.
So the Bombers, so I think for me they did as I expected them to do this year, sort of just finish just outside the 8 but not have a terrible year. Off season they've gone into win now mode after nearly 20 years of not making the finals. The big moves in the trade period, they're bringing Ben McKay, Xavier Dersma, more and more coming in. It's suddenly a destination club, it seems. So for Essendon, this year was kind of just any other year for them. They were planning for the future already, so they should be a top 8 team next year.
Absolutely, and Port Carlton, we'll discuss them very soon, but Essendon are going to look very good in season 2024. They had a good year, and knowing that Essendon may not be one of my favourite teams, but I liked when they play at Marvel. They are a fast, quick-paced team when they're in front of the Essendon crowd, and since they've improved so much, fans have come back and watched this Essendon Bombers in a long time. This is in before the COVID time. they were struggling. And now they're starting to build that chemistry, and I think since Brad Scott's come in, I think this is a much better quality. I would love to see Brad Scott be on that big stage and get a medal. It's called apprenticeship coach, but he hasn't earned it. And he didn't do it in North Melbourne. He's got the ability. He's got the right. He's know the off season for pre-season for the Essendon Bombers. So yeah, so that is. I think Essendon are going to be very hard to play now. They've got the right balance, but can they get to the finals? And I think season 2024 for Essendon Bombers.
Next up is the Adelaide Crows. So
the next team is Adelaide Crows Football Club.
I think they know how good they are. They're good enough, but they're also not good enough. And what I mean by that is, you look at the results against big sides they have, 1 point loss against Collingwood here at Adelaide Oval. 2 point loss when they went out to MCG. Lost by a goal at the Gabba at Brisbane. Won both the showdown. There was the incident against Sydney. They have the potential to run with the top sides. Okay, you can look at it and say, maybe GWS was the one that they struggled with, but then on the flip side to that, they beat Carlton quite well in gather round. So 7 out of the top 8, they know they can hang with. And that's what this team's got to look at going into next year. So the talent's there, they just got to be able to win the big games when it counts.
Yes, they're both Collingwood games that, Adelaide had chances to win both. And yet, they should win it, and it's a game of footy, and that's fine. But interesting note to find that the only and then there was Melbourne at the MCG. That was a high scoring MCG, decent crowd, Sunday afternoon footy, and we lost by 4 points. So, to guide to interpret the Adelaide point of view, we'll discuss them later in the next slide, but the Adelaide had everything to beat Port Adelaide, a top 4 side, out of Collingwood winning a premiership, and also Melbourne also up there. So Adelaide have the ability, they have the belief. I think they did have a good season, but not enough. The percentage is insane. You saw the live ladder over the Adelaide Crows. They were quite, the big wins, and they didn't hold on. And also Brisbane, I have to say, going to Brisbane to beat them here in South Australia over into Queensland, Brisbane gather, I think there's something not right, and the weakness of this year, they need to improve its goal kicking. So my thoughts are now that for the Adelaide Crows. So guys, that is the top 10. We have made it. We are heading into a break, and when we come back, we have more awards to come, so stay tuned. We also have the top 8. Who is in the top 8? We'll find out when we return for the 2023 The BJ Show Awards Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the awards show. Let's now head back for the goal of the year and top 8. Who is now those winners and that top 4? I can't wait to share. So let's head back to the awards show. Hello, welcome back. Hope you're all enjoying this. Now, we're going to introduce to you the goal of the year. So this player had some talent. Now, previously, I did a Google search to do with the nominees of you fans out there. Thank you for all. So this player deserves it. And my thoughts, I'd like to introduce the goal of the year 2023 is Isaac Making. So many players or people out there more thought, why Isaac Making? Now, what I've done in my search, then you guys out there, for the fans who I've been in contact with, thank you for all. You guys help me to get Isaac Making. So well done, Isaac Making, the 2023 Goal of the Year. We're going to now chat about the top 8 with you. So the next team is Sydney Swans Football Club. The Sydney Swans. So due to the Sydney Swans, they've got some great talent in that team. But I think, can Sydney be a 2024, again, be in that finals? Geelong were out. but Sydney are now playing finals over that small mention about 1 point over in Adelaide, and I think they were lucky. I called that luck in the draw. So my thoughts, that is good luck Sydney in season 2024 with all the players and all what's going on that's been busy in the off-season into pre-season. Coming into Greater Western Sydney Giants. How can I recruit the Giants in 7th spot? I think they have played so many finals over Gold Coast. They have a great coach and a smart style. We got Toby Green, we've got Tom Green. They've got some great midfielders, they've got some great forwards and fence. You know, the former captain from the Giants. I just think they've got belief. Like, did they have belief in season 2024? Adam Kingsley, well done for your season 2023. The next team is St Kilda Saints Football Club. The Saints go marching in. How can the Saints go marching in? There can't be a team like GWS. Giants just went over. I didn't see St Kilda playing finals. They were lucky. They were in the mix. Ross Lyon came in over a decade ago, 2011. They made the grand final. Lost against Geelong. Look at them making finals. So this Ross Lyon, have they got magic or have they got style? But we'll find out. I think St Kilda is going to be a good team in season 2024. We'll find out then. Coming into the last team now. This is the team The next team is Carlton Blues Football Club. Michael Voss made a AFL coach dream to play finals, but not against his former team. They made from not making finals in season 2022 to 2023. They had this belief. They have lost. They were struggling, and this belief inside was Patrick Cripps is such a champion overall, and he deserves to be, Brownlow. He surely be the best and fairest for Carlton up there this year because he earns it. But has Carlton got that belief? One step in September, I'd love to see them win a premiership with Michael Voss. And I think Michael Voss has belief. So guys, that is from the 8th to the 5th place. I'm going to now hand it over to Aiden from who is 4th to 1st. We have the top 4 AFL Premiership ladder 2023.
Yeah, so 4th place on the ladder was...
The next team is Melbourne Demons Football Club.
Before the season, I said Melbourne are getting further and further away from a flag every season that goes on. And I mean, we're only 2 seasons out of their flag in 21, but it doesn't look good for them. I didn't see anything to change my mind over the course of the season either. And I think overall, they're a good team, but they're not a great team.
The next team is Port Adelaide Football Club.
In 3rd is the Port Adelaide Football Club. It's time to move on, guys. It's over. There's no level of talent on the field that will make Ken Hinkley a premiership coach. Because if you're not a premiership coach, you are not a premiership coach. Teams have found that out the hard way. Ross Lyon is another guy that comes to mind as good coach, probably not a premiership coach. You can't trust Port to win big games because of this. 13 wins in a row during the season. You don't win a premiership in July. So they end in a straight sets exit in September, which is fitting of true Port Adelaide form.
The next team is Brisbane Lions Football Club.
Obviously the second runner-up in the grand final, so a great effort, but I think they should be a bit disappointed to come so close in the end. I'm going to call them out here because at the end of the grand final, when Joe Danaher kicked the goal with 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining, they thought the game was over. They just shut down. Like, every time you see Collingwood kick a goal, they are all on them. Brisbane kick the goal there, no one cares. That's what cost them, not the umpire. Their own belief cost them in the end. And, could be back, but there are a lot of clubs chasing them down. Carlton are going to come up. Adelaide are going to come up. GWS are going to be hanging around. I'm going to guess that Collingwood's going to hang around. Melbourne's probably still going to hang around. So that's, Brisbane.
The next team is Collingwood Magpies Football Club.
And then finally, the Premiers in Collingwood. So they were my pick to win the Premiership from way back. From the day after the end of last season, I said Collingwood's going to win the flag 2023 because they have the list, they have the coach, they have the X factors. All the things you need to win a premiership, they've got the perfect recipe. Best team in the comp all year and, rightful premiers in the end.
Very well said for that. So, we now come to the 2023 Mark of the Year. This was another fan vote, and I gotta say, this was quite hard, and it was so close. But there's some flyers, but unfortunately there's only one winner. So the 2023, the Mark of the Year is Cody Wakeman from the Western Bulldogs. Well done, mate. You had some great moments flying over Port Adelaide, you know, at the gate around, you know, in front of your crowd, and you knew. And some other moments as well. Can't just say this one, but well done on a sensational year on the Mark of the Year for the BJ Show Awards Show. So we're going to actually take a break, guys, but we'll be right back. On your own screen, we'll share the 2023 celebrating retirees for the AFL. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to the 2023 the BJ Show Awards. So I'm going to let Aiden just share just a few celebrating retirement players from this great game. Aiden.
Yeah, so there are a lot of players who retired this year. I'm just going to name out some who are memorable or great players of the game. So guys like Paul Seedsman, who retired from Adelaide, was a big name, you know, especially around the Crows at, you know, the time they were in that premiership run. Then you have Daniel Rich from Brisbane, who was unfortunate not to play in the grand final this year.
2023.
The big one for me was the retirement of Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti. Just that's a whole show gone. You're not going to just turn on an Essendon game and be like, I want to watch McDonald-Tipungwuti anymore. That show's gone over. Geelong lost two more champions in Segler and Smith. Phil Davis, former captain of GWS, retired along with Daniel Lloyd. And then for North Melbourne, they had a few as well. So they had Ben Cunnington, Aaron Hall, and Jack Zeeble, notable names to retire from North Melbourne. Port captain Tom Jonas. Richmond had a big list, so they had Castagna, Cochin, Rewald and Robbie Tarrant retiring. Then the biggest name of the class was the man himself, Lance Franklin, who I think should be put up for legend status straight away. Then West Coast had a lot of their senior players retire as well, so Hearn, Natanui, Shuey, and then from Western Bulldogs is Josh Bruce. There's also some other names in there, but I'm not going to get into them.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's so many more. I think this is the first time in a long time there's so many players cited for you, Bruce. So Aiden, thank you for your sharing of that. Now there's the mile we're waiting for, but we've got the Australian teams now, guys. So we'll get straight into my thoughts, and I'll tell you one or two comments about them, or maybe a sentence. So Sam Taylor, look, due to Sam Taylor, you know, I think he was a great. You know, he's a decent defender, and I chose him. Why? You know, he's decent for the team. We come to running-up Harris Andrews. Now, this fella played so well in that grand final, and I think he did the co-captain role with Lachie Neale really well, and I think well done to making grand final, mate. You gotta have heads up, mate. And you'll be back next year. Steve May, you know, Gold Coast now Melbourne Demon star, premiership player. Why could I put Steve May in the team? He's got that really good build, and I think he'll be hard to beat. We come to James Sinclair for Hawthorn. Now, why put someone like him in the centre half back? But on with my calculations, it's my left, your right. So, why did I put him there? Because I think he had that experience and he knows to help out to get out of the defence. We come to the premiership captain, Darcy Moore, Matt centre half back. You can't go wrong with him. With Jacob Welling from Carlton, well done from that is my backline. Coming to the vice captain, and I have to put Lachie Neale, mate. You are also well done making the grand final. Unfortunately, not winning that premiership, but don't I think you have 2 minutes to go, you're 4 points down. Heads up, keep going. But it is what it is, and you'll be back next year, mate. But well done on the Brownlow medal as well. Coming into Zach Butters. Now, Butters, we all know, Well, Zach Butters, my God, you surged so much with Port Adelaide this year, and you're a hard nut player, and when you play well, you're hard to beat. We come to the Dawson, former Swan, now Crow, captain now, Jordan Dawson. Well done being that midfield. You had a sensational year. Well done being the best midfielders for the Adelaide Crows, and making to the top 10 of the Brownlows, so making some really good moments. We go to the Tex. Tyler Walker, got a lot of experience, second in the Con medals, with Charlie Cruz now the Con medals. So we got my top two, the best kicking. We got the goal of the year star, Isaac Rakin, coming into the mix with some magic. Toby Green into that, he can play midfield, he can also play anywhere. Maybe not ruck, doesn't have the height, but you never know, he's got some built from that. With the Cameron, Jeremy Cameron and Charlie Cameron, got some really talent, but Charlie can make some really good speed. Coming to Oscar from Brisbane's ruck, you can see on the screen, you may run it up ruckman, he done so well. With Roy Led coming as also the top 10 for the Brownlow. You had a really good year. Heads up, mate, you will do well in season 2024. Apprenticeship midfield, Nick Dacos, you're hard to play anywhere on that footy field on grand final day, and you knew. Coming to Con Oliver, got to say from Melbourne's interchange, and Mason Redman from Essendon, Joy Danaher, all on the bench. Well done. And Jack Sinclair from St Kilda from the sub, and Nick Matthews. So that is my coach. Now we head to Aiden.
Thanks, Ben. So for my All-Australian team, I've got Tom Stewart in my back pocket, I've got Luke Ryan in the other back pocket, and Darcy Moore, the premiership captain, at full back. So I'm looking at building a team that's very strong defensively, not going to lose a lot of matchups. Going across the half-back line, I've got Noah Anderson from the Gold Coast Suns. I thought Anderson, played a very, very good year this year. Fell off a little bit at the end, but his performances, rounds 1 through to 16, 17, earned him a place in the side from pretty much halfway through the year was going in. My vice-captain, I've got James Sisley from Hawthorn, so just an ever-present down there, good leader in the back, and Isaac Quainer, who's a premiership half-back, so you can't go against that. In the mid, so on the wings, I've got Josh Dacos and I've got Errol Goulden, so two young guys who control the footy, get the ball out, give it where it needs to go. And in the middle, I've got Tom Green from GWS. So again, another young guy who's good at the footy, gets the ball where it needs to go, gets a lot of touches, which is always helpful. Half forward flanks, I've gone with Dustin Martin, and the captain of my team is Toby Green. So now we got forwards who can also play mid. So forwards who are going to get the ball, forwards who can score goals, forwards who can do everything they need to do to win a game of football. My centre half forward is going to be Taylor Walker from the Adelaide Crows. So could not allow him a spot in the team after his season. He just keeps getting better every year. Forward pockets, I've got Nick Larkey and Charlie Cameron. Just two guys, find the footy, score goals, everything you want out of forwards, and King Charles is my full forward. So my ruck line is going to be headed by Lee Jackson, and then Nick Dacos and Jack Viney. So again, trying to just get the ball, win the ball, control the ball as much as we can. Then on the bench, I've got Zach Butters, Caleb Sarong, Tim English and Mason Redman as the sub. And the team will be coached by Adam Kingsley from GWS.
Well, that's great. So let's get straight into the next one. So the coach of the year, I would actually like to introduce to, in behalf of me, I'm going to get Aiden. Coach of the year.
All right, coach of the year. Can we please have the slide back? Thank you very much. So the coach of the year, we had a lot of deliberation. We couldn't really pick out a true winner. So what we decided on was co-winners of the award. So special circumstances of both Adam Kingsley and Michael Voss winning it was really, we both felt they were deserving. They'd done everything they could have done with their lists and really showed the players' development throughout the season, which is everything you can ask out of a coach. So well done to Adam Kingsley and Michael Voss being co-winners of the BJJ 2023 Coach of the Year.
Do the result, and then we'll do the big one we've been waiting for. So this 2023, I had about 15, roughly between 10-15 nominees selection to be in the 2023 footy tip competition, and I would like to grow that into a prize money. So, and that's what's to do with all the information it's called a review. So guys, this fella has been playing silently in the footy tip, for the Kenilworth Footy Club and inclusive team, and he's improved so much. His confidence has gone to a new level. But he's joined the BJ Show Footy Tip Comp, and I can't say too much. This fella, mate, Jay Charters, mate, congratulations on the BJ Show Footy Tip winner. Now guys, I gotta say, this is the moment we've been waiting for. And right here, he's a big, that team he was sharing before, after I mentioned before. And he's been waiting for this moment. So, Aidan, can you please share and announce the 2023 BJ Show Best and Fairest?
Thank you, Ben. So the winner of the 2023 BJ Show Best and Fairest Award is Andrew Brayshaw, Fremantle.
Well done.
What can I say? It's a going purple. It's one of my Dockers winning the award. So that just shows, the talent that's at Fremantle that's gone to waste this year. Like I said earlier, the talent's there. It's just not being used in the right way to get the team forward and winning a premiership. But Andrew Brayshaw, well done winning the award, and hopefully you can go back to back next year.
Indeed. Well, he was runned up in the 2022 now champion, and it was very close. So guys, congratulations to the 2022 Best and Fairest, the Fremantle Dockers, Andrew Bradshaw. So guys, that's the end. I hope you all enjoy it. Subscribe to YouTube. So like on as well Facebook, and it's also follow on Instagram. There's more to come. Stay tuned as we share this the first time, and I hope you shared this moment. My name is Ben from the BJ Show, and thanks Aidan. This is signing off, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now. Ben from the BJ Show. Hope you all enjoyed the award show 2023. Thanks to Aidan was the assistant of the award show 2023. See you soon as we have something special right here on the BJ Show. Stay tuned. Bye for now.